What's up, yo? Handsome men complaining and ugly, sexy players winning. Oh, man. I know that's going to fuck with some heads and shit. And first, let me shout out Cousin Tito. He first used the term ugly, sexy player. I always give credit where it's due. I'll put a link to where he talked about that. Now, understand, Cousin Tito, he's a professional seducer. He trains male exotic dancers. But I was thinking about that. Two things made me think about it. One, this video, one of my most popular videos, got popular again. It was called, Don't Try Too Hard If You're Handsome. And I'll put a link to it in the description box. I don't know what happened. I first put that out in September 2021. And I did a whole, in response to it, it was one of the few times I actually did something that was a big request for. I did a whole bunch of follow-up videos to it. And it's a whole Handsome Man Game playlist I got, so, And, that was like the fall and winter of 2021, right? Fall and winter of 2021. I did all I could, and then I was like, okay, I don't have nothing else to say. And there's a lot of young guys who've picked up on it. A lot of young guys who've picked up on the whole concept, and I'm good with that because I ain't invent anything, And I really wasn't even the first person to talk about that whole Handsome Man Game thing. It's a general term. Nobody got a trademark on it and shit, So that's cool. That's cool. But that video that started it all, I don't know what if somebody shared it on somebody's page or something, but all of a sudden it's got popular again, and I'm doing a lot of responses, exercising the block button, because a lot of dudes getting on there complaining and everything, right? And I'm thinking, hold up, well, according to what people say, you just need to be handsome, right? And I say, that's part of, even that trying hard, that's part of doing more. Because, your looks and everything, that's great bait. And you want to fix up as much as possible. Now, of course, you got some guys out here think you guys look like supermodel of the world or something, which I still haven't figured that out. If you go out any place where men and women are interacting, all the dudes don't look like supermodels. I remember for the self-improvement summit down in Houston, remember this big old dude, couple big dudes. Shoot, they were getting theirs with the women. They were getting numbers. I'm watching them. They were freaking the women. And for those that don't know, freaking means they dancing all close, all intimate. Several women and shit. But they wouldn't be, both of them stocky dudes. And neither one was 6 feet. I got something to say about just being in the real world, what happens in the real world. That's part of what I'm going to be talking about anyway on this car ride, right? But the thing is, you got all these guys, and you got testimonies from guys. They like, yeah, I'm handsome, but I'm having this trouble. A lot of guys saying, I'm handsome, but I ain't getting any play. I'm like, whoa, hold up. I thought that's what it's supposed to be. But then something else inspired this. Because I've talked about, Cousin Tito has definitely talked about ugly, sexy players. I've talked about you still get some guys out here, they'll still get theirs. And there's a very simple reason why, but I'll tell you in a second. I was inspired because there was a clip that was on IG. And I shared it. You know what, I'm going to see if I can find that clip and put it in the description box. And this woman was talking about, this was a clip. It was like one of those podcasts women be talking about the sex. There's actually a lot of those, and the sex piece is the key thing. But she was talking about she got with this guy, he was not cute. she said she had turned off the lights. She still got with him though. I was like, man, oh man. But it's a very simple reason. Like I said, the word sex, ugly, sexy player. The reality out here, and a lot of guys don't get it because, let's just be real, they ain't getting any. But a woman she could say a guy look good, but she don't feel anything. She don't feel any chemistry, anything. She ain't turned on sexually. And then she could look at another guy and she say just looks wise, right? She just looks wise. You know, she's like, but he got her hot as shit. And this is a simple thing. I always say it. And I'm going to tell you in a second why I back up what I've said. But I always say looks and sex appeal aren't the same thing. A lot of guys think it, but they ain't getting any. They don't know. And see, I know this for sure. Well, one, you know, you get some guys, you don't look like all that. But I've had more sex than whatever person, anybody that tracks against anything about me, they can put their age in. I've been with more women sexually. Just sexually. We ain't even talking about adding kissing and hand jobs and shit. Like penetrated more. And I ain't saying that. I'm just giving you a perspective. And one of the things, if you actually interact with women, yeah, they check out looks, but you don't necessarily have to look like a fashion model. In fact, a lot of women, if you look too good, they question your sexuality. And a lot of women they like different things. Now, yeah, there going to be some women, hey, you got to look like supermodel of the world, but not all of them. And I'm going to tell you what, because a lot of guys will say, well, women going crazy over this celebrity. The term is eye candy. They look good, but if you put them in the same room, they might not fuck them. Meanwhile, you put them in a room with a guy who might not be that tall, might have some weight on him and shit. But they ready to shoot. They ready to go to the motel right there. In fact, not even a motel. They ready to go behind a 7-Eleven in the alley or something, have sex with them. Now, some guys can't figure that out because they think it's just the looks part, but sex appeal, part is the physicality. In fact, really, the face is like the least important thing just for sex appeal. There's a lot of nice guys who look handsome to women. They'll say it. But you know what they'll say? They'll say he cute. Well, their puppies are cute. Their brothers are cute. They don't feel anything. You know? Because basically it comes down to a lot of factors what turns a woman on sexually. You know, it's rarely the face, the whole face. Now, some women, they'll say they like a guy facially. But if you say to them, is that guy getting you wet? They probably be like, Now, if you got some nice lips and a nice tongue, because kissing is very important to women. And, you know, if you got that tongue, you can go to work. You can go to work on a kitty cat with it. Shit. Now, they're checking out all that shit. But the main piece is the physique. And let's just keep it a buck. Let's just keep it a buck. They look down and they see that print. Shit. See, it's a totally different vibe, and that's just part of it. You can have all that shit and they still don't want to get with you. A big part of it is the attitude. You know, how you carry yourself, how you dominate, your level of behavior. See, sex appeal is a combination of everything. How you're adorning yourself, how you smell. It's a combination of a lot of shit. In fact, a lot of times, some guy who might, he might be average looking, but they get to know the woman. In fact, they get to know the woman and everything. And they will, they get to know the woman. I mean, the woman gets to know them, rather. Well, the man needs to get to know the woman. And I saw something out the corner of my eye. Y'all don't need to know what I saw. But if she get to know him, he can grow on her. You know? It's about action. Like women, I'm going to tell you what. Overall, women turn on more by action. Action. Because that's masculine sex appeal. You know? See, if some guys think it's just looks, that's a passive quality. They want to know what you want to do. That's why if you think about it, some of the dudes will be fucking like crazy. They got that kind of rough edge to them. They got an edge to them. You know? They got the motherfucker would be like tearing her up. Just like, bitch, whose pussy is this? Whose pussy? They gonna be more aggressive and everything. And as long as they look decent, because remember, most women want to be the better looking, at least facially. Hell, some of them even body wise. They want to be the better looking. They want, because a woman's nature is she wants all the attention on her. Now, that's most cases. Now, a lot of guys are focused on the other stuff. Like, they'll focus on the exceptions, but if you look at the rule. Now, why do I say all this? See, I'm going to tell you something. A lot of people who know me call me Field Master, Field Marshal. Now, understand something. Not only I've been in the streets, but I got training in doing research. Sociologists would call it qualitative research, which means field research. I know how to observe shit. I know how I've written papers on researching people out in the field, you know? And sociology wasn't even my main class. And then just from experience, just everything I did, one of my 1,000 jobs, I was an investigator. You know, I used to have to serve subpoenas and stuff, working for defense attorneys and stuff. I had to go in some bad neighborhoods. I had to read people. You know? And then just knowing people. Because I'm going to tell you the truth, every single thing I talk about who getting like the sex out here, the men, that's based on people I know. See, ain't some like guy out here don't have friends and shit. I'm one of those people, I don't care where I go. I can fit in, depending on how fast I want to do so. Because I'll just say straight up, I got the gift of gab. I can shoot it up any place. You put me any place. And I've had the people cool with me. Hell, as a black man, I've been in environments with some straight up white nationalists and stuff. And they were cool with me. It's like, you know? So you out here, if you out in the streets, and especially the main thing is, I just know players. The vast majority of them couldn't win a modeling contract. In fact, if I look at it from that thing who fits into what guys think is getting women, who they think are getting women, shoot, I'd say less than 5. Less than 5 I've known personally. Less than 5. Because if you take an honest look at the men who getting the women, like multiple women, a guy maybe multiple baby mamas, who actually getting the baddies, who the women actually going crazy over, be fucking them, like the baddies be sucking their dicks. And you'll notice if you out here like that, you'll see it. If you look at the dudes actually getting the women, it goes against what the media try to portray. It goes against what a lot of clueless dudes online think it is. And they ain't necessarily ugly, but like I said, they ain't gonna win a modeling contract or a fitness model contract either. Because as much as I must keep promoting body game. And you know, if you got some muscles and all that, you got that physique, you definitely gonna get some attention. But how many guys in the world really have that? Because remember last week I talked about the amount of people. Let's just assume mostly men. You do got some women can throw it up. But you're talking what, less than 3% of the population who can even throw up 225. Meanwhile, somebody called me old, but I did 255 just Monday. I'll probably start regular bench pressing and shit. So, you know, how many dudes really got that strength like that? So, yeah, ASP, yeah, they're going to get attention, but let's be real, most dudes ain't like that. Most dudes ain't going to have that perfect physique. If you take an honest look at some players, now, these are guys I know to be players. Hell, the women bragging on them and shit. Because I've known too many dudes, shoot, all you had to do is be around. Like they say, game recognized game. They don't need to look like what people think. And they got a range. Some of them be dressed sharp and all that. Some of them dress ordinary. Some of them be professionals. And like I said, it don't stop with age. Shoot, I know of a player now. He's 69. He is straight, man. He had about 3 or 4 women on his tip. 3 or 4. 69-year-old guy. And all younger. Shit, my father. He 82. He's 82. Got 3 women. when you talk about like just real players, it goes against a lot what some dudes think. But see, they're not players. One thing about players, there's like an unofficial subculture of them. Now, I'm shout out, I can't remember this gentleman's name, but he said, because I had said before, sometimes I think about getting a PhD in sociology. And he had suggested just focusing on the players. Because it's a different vibe. Any real players know it's a whole different vibe. And if you take an honest look, if you know them on so many levels, it goes against what they try to promote. Like I said, they don't necessarily have to be ugly or anything, but they might just be all right. Even the women will say it, but it's something about them. It's kind of like an it factor, but it's a combination of things. Yeah, the physicality is always going to be in there. Do mean the physicality. Might or might not be considered even classically handsome. Might or might not. But they're also going to have a certain way they carry themselves. Even, I'm going to tell you what, I'm starting to peep a lot of the guys who want some serious player thing, even how they speak. The speech, intonation, rhythm of how they talk. You know, some people call it a mouthpiece, but there's nothing magic about it. It's just how they roll. But whatever the case, they good with getting women. And they honest about it. They ain't gonna be talking about, oh, I'm getting with the hundreds of women. That's rare anyway. That's extremely rare. But if you legitimately had sex with more than 20 women, shoot, you more in the upper echelons. Legitimate, and you didn't have to pay for the shit. And these guys I've known, in fact, I've even done surveys. I've even done surveys on several times. I got a lot of stuff. So, and then out in the field, knowing the guys, and just to be clear, it's not even just on what they say. Now with the surveys, I gotta go with what they say. But if you out and you know people, like I said, you know what? I'm one of those types. I can be real quiet, but then, like I said, I could probably leave my house in the morning, right? Just go to different stores, different restaurants. I'm gonna know somebody. And then, you know, you start talking, you shooting the breeze, you know how somebody roll. Because there's a lot. And then if you start talking with people and you interacting with people, shoot, you can read them well. You know what's up. Like I said, shoot, I'll know if somebody got that player and if they try to say it. Because of experience. Because players, they always talk the same way. Even if they write something down, there's a certain calmness they got. And when you really look at them, you're talking about men who get multiple women. Now, some people try to put them down and shit, but really, you got to look at it another way. It's hard enough to find, for the average dude, to find a woman. Let's just be real out here. Now, it can, you know, theoretically, any guy can, but let's be real. A lot of guys got a lot of hang-ups. They got some fears. They listening to the wrong people. And they have some trouble. Meanwhile, you got some guys, they always got, even when they don't want to be bothered with anybody, they got some options. You know? They got options. And it's never, like I said, it ain't what people try to say. Like, you get some guys always talking about some Chad or Tyrone, but I would ask anybody to promote that. How many do you know personally? You get some guys trying to interpret something from the outside. It's like, how many do you know personally? Seriously. I'm just coming back from the gym. There were a couple, okay, it's like chopping it with a couple buddies in there, right? Well, one I knew for a long time. I already knew how he rolled, right? Another one, I got a feeling he'll play it, but we haven't chatted on that level yet. But he probably a play. Because I'm looking at how he interacting with everybody, especially the women in there. Because that's how you know. See, in fact, that's a little secret right there. If you want to know if somebody doing something, put them in a room full of women. And you can tell just from the interaction. Because that's the key right there, because you still got to engage the women. And if you take an honest look at the dudes who really doing well with women, who can engage them easily, like they're not nervous. That's the main thing. They can be around some women, they chill. They real cool and everything. They ain't trying hard. Those are likely the plays. And they ain't gonna look the way you might think. They ain't gonna look like some fashion model or something. Now, a lot of guys can't figure that out, but they not around it. You're talking about a world you don't know. But, you tell them, say, well, hold up. What is it about? Okay. Maybe a good body build. Not a great one, a good body build. Not totally busted. At least, they fix themselves up as best as possible. And even then, there's some, like, rough-looking dudes, ratchet-ass dudes. They getting some. Yeah. I just thought about this time I was up at the local mall, right? I was coming out, getting in my car. I looked in my rear view mirror. There was a dude, he was in a passenger seat, and he had this look on his face, rough looking dude, right? And he had this, all of a sudden this woman, she came up. Now she coming up from the driver's seat, she driving him. I was just like, I saw him again one time up there. Dude didn't look like some dude who be on like some modeling show or something like that. Or you got some corny ass dudes trying to measure faces, place. But the key to it is, the key really is about the whole package and what the dude does. Like getting back to the ugly sexy thing, and Cousin T talked about it in the video. The thing with them is they know they're ugly, but they just fix up everything else. I talked about that in Nice Guys and Players. Because to me, guys are worried about their face or something. It was like, dude, whatever. And I always tell that story about that woman who, she let me know on several occasions she didn't think I was that handsome. In fact, for all the women I've been with, I can probably count on one hand, well, two hands, how many actually said I was handsome. Yeah, I've still been with them. I've still had pregnancy scares. I still got progeny. Because that's the thing. But what's the package? They look at the whole package. When women checking out a guy, they looking at everything. I've said that several times. They looking at everything, how you carry yourself. And a lot of it's just mentality. You can have everything, but if your mind ain't right, you're going to have trouble. If your mind is not right, you're going to have trouble. See, a lot of dudes out there, and it could have been, ain't no specific way or something. Everybody come to that place in different ways. You got a lot of dudes, like I knew this one dude, I said he was a cool dude, but he kind of had a face like Elmer Fudd. He was a cool dude, but, only thing he had on him was some height. And he was like he's about 6'1", 6'2", but even then he was more stocky. He's one of those big stocky dudes. But the thing with him was he had a cool demeanor. He always dressed fly, and he could talk with anybody. I literally saw women fighting over his ass. Cause see, let me tell you what, with women, it really come down to them for how they feel. You gotta make a woman feel a certain way. Some dudes know how to make a woman feel that sexual spark. And how they came to it is different ways. But you gotta make them. Like, yeah, they could look at you, say you're attractive, but they not aroused. It's not the same thing. They're not aroused sexually. And, I know some guys say, well, how do I do it? I got a ton of videos. Follow what I say in the videos and keep working. You'll find out. Like, a key to it is body game. If you just start there, it's just start there. All right? It'll come to you. It'll come to you in more ways than one. But, you gotta just understand, and that's the world. And like I said, go outside. Because I know some dudes, they don't want to hear what I say. Oh, yo, they don't know what's going on. Well, let's take a walk. Hey, I live in Harford County now. We can take a walk through Edgewood. I used to live there. When they had that uprising in Baltimore a few years ago with the Freddie Gray thing. Actually, I used to work with Freddie Gray's cousin. So, and a lot of people in those pictures, like there was a picture of all these gang members coming together. I knew some people in there. There's another picture of a bunch of brothers protecting a bookstore down there. I knew all of them. I knew all of them. I ain't some motherfucker who like just sits in the house. I'm not the porch kid. I'm out here in the world, and I talk to real people. I know what they doing. I know who fucking who getting pussy, who ain't getting pussy, because I'm dealing with real people. And it go a lot against what a lot of people be trying to think. And they getting messed up. Like a lot of guys thinking, oh, I don't look like Chad or something. Just fix yourself up as best as possible. Learn how to have a fucking conversation with a woman. Develop some confidence about yourself. Shit. Women just need to look for you to be presentable and shit. They don't want you looking like some pretty motherfucker. They're going to question if you like, at some point, they'll question if you even like women. And then have that masculinity. Shit, you just be a man out this motherfucker, you going to get some. Because that's one of the main things with the players. All of them got that man. You know, all them cool people. They got that man, they got that masculinity. They got and they got some charisma. You know, they can communicate, they can check. They cool. You can just be cool. Now, yeah, you're going to have some motherfuckers, but see, you can't just rely even just on your appearance. It's important, but you can't just rely on it. Because women, they like to look, but they'll keep going. What else about you can make them stop? Understand that, you know? So, I ain't gonna repeat. Someone's too close to the car. But yeah, you just gotta get out there. You gotta have that, you know, some people might call it swag, whatever. But you put yourself together on as many levels as possible, and then if you can just talk. I mean, it's not even so much the mouthpiece. If you got the gift of gab, shit. You can just talk to a woman, and you don't have to fuck everyone. Just have a regular conversation. How did you joke? And it's not even hard. I take that back. Apparently, it's hard for a lot of people. But it goes, like I said, it goes against whatever. Understand with women, just a bottom line. I'm a reiterate this. I talked about this in my books. You just gotta be, and I've talked about it this week. You just gotta be well-rounded. Just try to develop yourself in as many areas as possible. And as far as your looks or something, because some guys think, oh, that's it. You got some guys think it's just a face. Like the woman is ignoring everything else. She's ignoring how you dressing. She ignoring your voice sound, and she ignoring how you smell. She ignoring how you feel, how you making her feel. Come on, man. That's why I say you got some virgin motherfuckers need to shut the fuck up. Messing some stuff up, we telling you and shit. And let's be real on some basic shit. Let's be real on some basic shit. Like, because I know some motherfuckers don't want to listen to me. Well, my genes going into the future. And judging for how women respond, especially my oldest one, he gonna be funny about it, but and even he get a lot of women like showing some interest, but you know, based on just them, especially my youngest, my progeny is going into at least the 21st century. Shit. So on that level anyway, I'm good. And don't make any assumptions, because I know some dudes be trying to assume some shit. You don't know me, motherfucker. I'm trying to tell you some shit. You know, or if you think you know me, I tell you what, here's a challenge. If you think you know me, tell me what I was doing on March 17th, 1998. I'm dead serious. If you think you know me, tell me what I was doing. So don't make any assumptions about it and shit unless you're around me all the time. So anyway, though. Yeah, I want y'all to think about that, though. Really think about it. And, you know, people say, why are you pushing it? Man, I'm going to tell you what. A lot of dudes, they hurting themselves. Their self-esteem, you know. They thinking, oh, I don't look like this, I don't look like that. No, you look like you. Be who you are. Be who you are. This is what you presenting. And if you present that, you're going to most of the time find a woman who's feeling what you presenting. But you still got to interact with them to find out. All right? So anyway, though, I don't do anything on Saturdays and Sundays. Well, I don't do car videos. Family time, man. Family time. That's why I don't do a lot of stuff in the evening either. Y'all knows I don't be jumping on panels most of the time. So, or you got to hit me up weeks in advance. I'll jump on it, but, family. So, at the very least, if you want that, you want some progeny and everything, you need to holler at a brother. So, anyway, I'll get back with y'all. Peace and blessings.